What is up, guys? Welcome back to the new market outlook. This week is packed with the news, and we have the NFP on the Friday because it's the first week of the new month. And as well, unfortunately, the war is breaking out, like you probably already saw. So there is gonna be huge gaps into the market open, and should be a volatile week. So you should get positions and manage your risk to survive those periods. Let's start with the BTC. We are on the 3-month chart. We can see that we are currently failing the fair value area, which is this FEG and this swing low right here. It is currently getting disrespected, which means that if this FEG does not move us higher, it means that it's gonna get disrespected like it is doing so right now. And if FEG or fair value area fails, it will seek the liquidity that created that FEG, which is this low on the 50k, below 50k. But we still have the whole month to get the closure of this 3-month candle, so some ideas can change from that, and we're gonna see it on the lower time frames. On the monthly chart, it's basically the same idea. We are currently disrespecting that swing low, making it a fair value area. We disrespected this previous candle low, which means that next candle, this month's candle, should continue to expand lower towards the previous month low right here. On the weekly, we have the different scenario. We have the sweep of these lows and of the previous week low as well, right here. This is the previous week low. And we have the FEG that is still open right here. So we have potential external towards the internal range concept. And this is like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th red or bearish close weekly candle. So we might get some relief into the 70 plus K marks. Daily is also aligning that idea. Why? Well, look at this. This FEG had a second chance to deliver higher, and it is doing so right now from this 2 candle rejection. So this first candle failed to deliver higher towards the swing high, external range liquidity. This is the daily context, and this is the 2 candle rejection. So we got the sweep, and we can move higher from the second candle, and we are doing so right now. This. So daily can align with the weekly to go towards that 70 plus K mark. And on the 4-hour, if we are going higher, we should do so from the current narrative that we are in, which is the 4-hour FEGs right here. We are having some retracement right now, but this is where we should move higher from. If we lose this, then it's gonna be chop again, and maybe that daily context fails. So we'll see how that goes. On the silver, let's see how that goes. And on the gold, we'll start from the top-down analysis. On the monthly, we had a close. We can see that it is insanely bullish. Silver is respecting the monthly FEG right here. And gold is respecting the fair value area, moving higher towards the external range, towards the new all-time high. Like this. On the weekly time frame, it is also aligning with that idea, because on the monthly you can see the close. This is insanely bullish, so all the other time frames are going to be bullish as well. On the weekly, we also have that overlap, that fair value area right here. And on the silver as well, finally. If we move to the daily, we can see that we are already moving from the weekly fair value area on the gold, and we finally disrespected the rejection high on the silver, which means there is no resistance anymore to go towards the all-time high. Gold as well doesn't have any resistance, so the market should be open tomorrow, and it's gonna be a huge open, so we can maybe immediately deliver higher. This is also the fair value area because that is the old disrespected swing high, as well as here. So those are the levels we can move higher from if the market doesn't gap immediately towards the all-time highs. Let's see what our index is doing. They're in extreme choppy state, but with the war breaking out, we can see that it's gonna potentially move towards the 3-month FEG right here. It is screaming for that pullback. We have the fundamentals right now to push us then. We have the swing lows overlapping with that 3-month FEG. When we have those time frames aligning, that is really awesome to see. We have the SMT right here because this high is not taken on the NQ, which means it is weaker asset, but on the S&P it is taken, like you can see there. On the weekly, what do we have on the weekly? We are sweeping the highs, previous week high as well, potentially then seeking the previous week low as a first target. But like you can see, this is the nasty consolidation starting from the October. Like, we didn't move anywhere, just chopping around. And we have the equal lows right there, here and here, which is a good magnet for the price. And you can see how the NQ is much weaker than the S&P, even by the structure. It also has the SMT on the highs right here. This high is not taken on the NQ, but it is taken on the S&P. So we are expecting lower prices on the S&P as well. Swept the previous week high, and on the daily we managed to go towards the high finally with this disrespect on the daily FEG, but we failed to break out of that range. We just swept that, like you can see here. We respected that range high and we moved lower immediately. So we are failing to follow through, and we failed to create potential fair value gap right here. So just look at this price action. This is really annoying and choppy state because this is the indices, NQ and S&P, the most tradable markets. They should be volatile all the time. The most amount of money are moving through those stocks. Like you can see, indices have the built-in bullish bias basically, and that's also what is making these assets better to trade than the other ones, for example crypto, because you have the edge in just the bias. For example, the structure is getting more followed than in the crypto. It's more regulated, there is no manipulations like in the crypto space, so you can see how it is just moving up. So they have that built-in bullish bias. So yeah guys, this is gonna be it from this, and safe trading next week, manage your risk, and see you next week. Peace.